My Reading Journey by Diane Fulton Fuentes. Wow, look at that beautiful baby girl. Who would have known that she would grow up with such a love for reading, that she would want to make a career of it? My mom told me that since the early days of my life, I've always had a connection with books. Even when I couldn't read, I was reading. She said she'd find me in my bedroom, sitting on my bed reading, sometimes at my little school desk, and even in the kitchen. She said I just loved going through the pages, looking at the pictures. When I got to elementary and middle school, I used to remember the days and yearn for the days when I would get that Scholastic book order form. I loved to take it out, circle all the books I wanted, let my mom and dad see it, and then they would tell me, okay, let's narrow it down to 1 or 2 books. I remember 2 books between my elementary and middle school years that I really connected with. The first one was Mary Lou Retton. That was like in 4th or 5th grade. I loved Mary Lou Retton. I watched her in the Olympics. I wanted to be Mary Lou Retton. I wanted to be that gymnastic star. When I got a little older, I ordered The Lifeguard from Scholastic. This is when I was in 7th or 8th grade. That is my all-time favorite Scholastic book that I ordered. When I got that book, I read that book cover to cover in one day, throughout the rest of the year, during the summer, and I still have that Lifeguard book to this day. When I got to high school, my eyes were open to a new type of reading, a new genre of reading, a more complicated, in-depth reading. The Canterbury Tales, The Crucible, To Kill a Mockingbird, Catcher in the Rye. I enjoyed reading those books, and it made my love for books stronger. When I became an adult and got my own money, I bought the books that I wanted to, not the books that my mom and dad told me to buy. And the books that I loved were nonfiction, true crime books. Things like Fatal Vision, The Green River Killer, all those books. I just loved the way the author had written them in such a way that I feel like I connected to the text. I admired how the authors were able to write such a vivid, thrilling, and horrifying book, how it captured each event. I was mesmerized. My mom would tell me, Diane, why are you reading those types of books? They're not good for you. You're going to have nightmares. Can't you read a Harlequin romance? No, Mom, I couldn't. Now I have kids, and I rarely ever read nonfiction crime stories, though I still am enamored by them. My days with my 5-year-old MMA have turned to readings of fantasy, fable, fairy tale. We read Hello Kitty, Lala Loopsy, National Geographic, and she loves those books. I adore reading to her. I see the excitement in her face and in her eyes, her curiosity, inquisitiveness, the questions. I hope she continues to be like that and continues to love reading. That's why I make it a point to read to her every day. I also have a 10-month-old, Ryla John. With Ryla, books are books that are able to put in her mouth, that won't tear, that have the rubber that she can bite on because she's teething right now. And she loves books. Her eyes open with amazement and awe when she sees the colors of the books. And I can only hope that both my girls will continue throughout their life to have a love of books like I have a love for books. Now that I'm nearing the end of my graduation, I'm excited to start teaching, to share my knowledge and admiration of text and reading to my future students. My goals for my students to have a vast appreciation for all types of books. I would like to thank you for taking the time to view my reading journey thus far.